this is a little weird. It's a little weird because I'm not using my normal mic, so I sound really different. I feel like I sound really far away. That's a little bit better. I don't know. This is going to be a problem. Anyway, Eric's joining me today, and we will be breaking down the rankings of the best Scream Queens of all time because, it's Halloween week. It's Halloween week. It's important. And Eric's kind of a big horror guy. So we're going to go through that. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
Okay, Eric, you can't have to keep something in mind. Every single time you move, every single time you touch your mic, I can hear it. So,
really?
Yeah. So
I'm going to do this?
Yes, I can hear it.
You want me to hold it?
No, just, don't touch it. Don't even look at it. Actually, that was terrible positioning. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Should have done it yourself.
What?
Should have done it yourself.
But just make sure that the mic is kind of at least pointing at you a little. Just a little bit. Sup, Chef Spawn. How's it going? You'll see. I don't know what you're trying to say, but whatever. Doesn't matter. So before we get into it, let me just give you a quick reminder that any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Super Dario World on YouTube and on Twitch. We're live streaming pretty much every day, Monday through Friday, except on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Every day, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. except Thursdays. Thursdays it's probably going to be at 11:30 or whatever. Doesn't matter. But let's get, and if you want to send me something privately, you can always do that on Instagram at DarioSDW and at Super Dario World. Eric, where do you want people to find you or not find you?
Find me over on twitch.tv at DickySenpai, and sometimes, if you want to find me, just ask Dario.
Yes, so knowing me.
That's the best way to do it.
Solid strategy.
Or my mother, she'll find me.
That is true. That is true. All right, so let's get into this. We're going to go through the rankings of the best Scream Queens, and also, if you put anything on the chat right now, it'll look like Eric is saying it, so have fun with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so first off, Eric, what is a Scream Queen for those normies who don't actually know what the hell a Scream Queen is?
Scream Queen would be, well, it's not necessarily just a horror movie thing, I'd say.
It could also be like a TV show or something, but what does it mean?
It's basically a lady who can, who's got some pipes on her.
Who's scared.
And she conveys it through the means of a scream.
Scream. Okay. That's it. Yeah. Fair enough.
That is a fair assessment.
What did you
say?
How many horror movies have you seen this year?
This year?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not fair.
Otto, you bastard. I hate you. He put it 9 was stupid. God fucking damn it.
You're right, that's a good idea.
This backfired extremely quickly. God fucking damn it.
Dario was saying they're gonna put stuff like, I'm gay.
Oh, like fun stuff, I didn't expect this. I didn't expect the turn. He misspelled. What an idiot.
That makes me look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's easy.
All right. How many horror movies have I seen this year? I don't know. Let's say I watched like 4 to 5 per month.
Okay.
So, I don't know. How many months has it been? 10?
Yeah. What's the best thing you've seen this year?
Ooh, best thing. Shoot.
It doesn't have to be new. It just be like the first time you've seen it.
Oh, crap. It's a Korean film that I watched recently, but, well, it has a Korean name.
It's not Squid Games. He hasn't seen Squid Games yet.
No, not at all. Oh, shoot. Let me get back to you on that one.
Okay. So the point is, he's a big horror guy. I'm not that big of a horror guy. So when I saw these rankings, I was like, you know what? The perfect person to ask would be my kid brother, Eric. So if you have to give somebody the crown right now off the top of your head, who would you go with? Who is the best Scream Queen of all time, according to you? Or you can do a top 3.
It's probably going to be Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis for the Halloween franchise?
Probably. I mean, I would say the list is probably made based on her.
So she's the OG?
Well, no. The OG would probably be something like a lady who played Barbara in Night of the Living Dead.
Okay.
In the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Or the woman from Psycho. But...
The shower lady?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of iconic, lasting actresses that you would remember, it would probably be Curtis.
You know who's actually really good? The wife from The Shining. Like her scream, like
What?
with the door. That's epic. Okay, so you're saying.
But to
Jamie
be
Lee
fair,
Curtis.
she was cheating. She had Jack Nicholson chasing her. I would be a hell of a scream queen. I got Jack Nicholson chasing me with an axe.
I'd be scared. All right, so you got Jamie Lee Curtis, and all right, honestly, you're probably gonna be correct. She's probably the most iconic.
Oh, the movie I saw is I Saw the Devil.
The Devil.
Yes, which is actually not that much of a horror movie. It's more of a crime thriller.
Okay.
That has the guy from Old Boy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. The bad guy.
The protagonist.
Really?
Yeah. Really great movie.
Interesting. That dude's been in a few good films.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's go through the rankings, and it's a top 30. So who do you think would be honorable mentions there? Just throw them off the wall, and we'll see where they land. Like, what would be kind of like in your top 10? You don't have to pick 10, but who would be in your top 10 and see where they land?
You know if it's only women?
Yes.
Okay.
What, are you going to make a gay joke or something with queens and stuff?
I mean, I don't, because there's some dudes who got some pipes.
That is true. Well,
Like, if Chris Tucker has been in a
Yes.
in a horror
Yes.
movie, that's gonna be a scream queen. But let me think. I don't know. I mean, you just probably have to think of the iconic horror movies. But even like something like The Exorcist, well, the girl is the demon, so I don't think she'd be there.
no, she doesn't count. That's cheating.
But in the sequel, she is normal,
Okay.
so maybe she becomes a scream queen there. She also poses naked.
In the second?
No, just in general in life.
I mean, I'm assuming that people have been naked in life.
You just wouldn't expect the Exorcist girl to be.
Yeah, you don't expect that. Otto's throwing something interesting here. What's that? Scary movie. Do you think scary movie should count?
Yeah, it should count. It's horror comedy.
So the girl there, what's her name? The girl who was married to freaking Chris Pratt. What's her name? Who's been in every single scary movie? I forget her name.
I don't know.
Anna Ferris? Yeah, that's her name. Anna Ferris.
Could be.
So would you put her on the list?
She got some pipes. Are they that iconic? She would probably be on the list. I mean, it's 30.
All right.
30
sure.
is plenty of spots.
Okay, but you still haven't mentioned anybody besides Jamie Lee Curtis or the chick from The Exorcist, but just because you've seen her naked, I guess.
That maybe I was the one screaming. I'm like, ah, titties.
That's fair. That's fair.
Let me think. Oh well, obviously. Well, if I was going by individual performance, maybe the mom from Hereditary.
Okay. Interesting. Toni Collette.
Yeah, but that one, honestly, that was an Oscar-worthy performance.
By the way, and I've seen this list already. They list the actress, not the character. So it could be somebody who's done multiple films.
Okay.
Yeah. So keep that in mind.
I kind of, I don't know. I kind of like individual performances better because, well, sometimes actresses only do few roles. So, you know, if they killed it in a few one, then give them the credit.
All right.
Like Jamie Lee Curtis has been in so many movies.
Yep.
So, obviously she'd probably be I'm gonna say she's probably at the top.
Okay. So that's only person you mentioned is Jamie Lee Curtis. Think of like 90s horror movies.
In the 90s.
No Drew Barrymore.
I'm thinking Drew Barrymore.
No Nev Campbell. No Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Does Naomi Watts scream a lot in something like
The Ring?
The Ring? I don't think so. She's
I
pretty.
don't know, but
she's pretty composed.
I remember that. I'll never forget Naomi Watts because of the way you said that you hated her.
Oh yeah, that movie was not scary at all. I was just angry.
It pisses me off. She's too good looking.
And the reality that I would never be able to meet that version of Naomi Watts made me mad.
Yeah, of course. Now she's in the past.
Yeah.
Oh, does she scream a lot in King Kong?
She does,
Yeah.
but it's
But you don't remember the screaming. You remember the big ass gorilla.
also it's King Kong. I don't feel it. I guess it could be considered horror. There's a lot of horror elements
It's a
to it.
gigantic gorilla rampaging through New York.
Look, we had the Barney discussion yesterday. Okay.
we did.
Is Donkey Kong a horror video game?
I guess, yes. I mean, it's a monkey stealing the princess. That's kind of scary.
It-
Well, no. It wasn't a princess. What's the girl's name?
It's Pauline.
It's Pauline, yeah.
Yeah, the girl from Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Shoot, I'm thinking like Friday the 13th. There's nobody. Friday the 13th. The one thing that it has never had is like a
main girl.
a character you stick with other than Jason. That's why you root for Jason because he's the only one you care about.
Okay, let's say we recently had this conversation. Anybody from the Saw movies that you're like, okay, that's a scream queen. Like I'm thinking maybe Acid Girl, like that. She was pretty cool. Like I mean, she screamed a lot. That acid looked really painful.
Did Amanda scream?
Amanda? Oh, is that the bear trap?
Yeah.
Reverse bear trap?
Maybe the Jigsaw's wife, maybe?
Maybe. So okay, from the Saw franchise, who would you be like that's a scream queen?
Probably Jigsaw's wife, just because of how long she was there.
Okay, so right, that's sort of now you can't look at this screen because that's cheating. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go through. All right, I'm gonna go through the
look
rankings.
over there.
Yes, I'm gonna go through the rankings of the top scream queens according to the Shive. So and some chick who wrote the list. There you go. So number 30 we have Toni Collette. Toni Collette, you mentioned from Hereditary and stuff like that. She's also been in The Sixth Sense, Krampus, Fright Night. So how do you feel about Toni Collette?
She was in Krampus, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Toni Collette? All the way down to number 30. I mean, you haven't mentioned 30 girls, but you mentioned Toni Collette. How do you feel about her being so low?
The thing about... I feel bad for Toni Collette because, to me, her performance in Hereditary got completely overlooked because she was in a horror film.
Okay.
And the Oscars and, all these fancy Hollywood stuff.
Fancy Hollywood stuff?
Yeah, they sort of have a bias against horror movies.
Yeah.
And they don't consider it acting or something.
True.
And her performance honestly, it's what makes the movie.
Okay.
And I can vividly remember a few of her screams. One in particular, where I'm like, I feel as uncomfortable as one of the characters on screen.
Okay. Well.
So, I don't know. I can kind of see the next one coming.
All right, next one coming. We have the one and only Naomi Watts.
I'm going to scream because I'm mad.
Now, here's the thing. The Ring is she's here for The Ring, The Shaft, and Children of Corn, not King Kong.
And not, what's that movie with the ghosts?
What do you mean?
Where it's
the one movie with ghosts? Are you fucking kidding me?
Where she's in it, and it's like they're in a house, and it's like World War II.
I mean, I can look it up. You can keep thinking.
Shoot, man, The Ring looks so weird with that green filter.
What do you mean?
It looks all green. The movie's all green.
Oh yeah,
it's got like a green pop filter.
Well, it's like in The Matrix.
The Matrix is not scary.
Mulholland Drive, no.
No, not that one.
Let me see. What year did it come out? Twin Peaks?
No. It's like mid 2000s or 90s maybe.
Mid 2000s. Okay.
Yeah.
Pain Evil, King Kong, Stay, The Ring 2.
No, not Ring.
Ned Kelly. No. Oh, Ned Kelly's a great movie. Mulholland Drive, The Shaft.
Is it the other ones or something?
The Others? The Others is Nicole Kidman.
It is Nicole Kidman. Maybe
the other Australian actress
who's blonde.
Yes.
And pisses me off. I'm sensing a trend.
You're a fucking moron. All right, we're moving on. Number 28, we have Jessica Beale from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Sinner.
Well, the remakes.
Of course, yeah.
I don't think I've seen the remake for Texas.
Really? I've seen it. It's fun, and it's got Jessica Biel in it.
I remember the original actress for Texas Chainsaw Massacre would probably be on the list.
She might be here. Next, we got number 27, Miss Elijah Kuthberg from Are You Afraid of the Dark, House of Wax, Captivity.
See, I understand why these are at the bottom. I don't understand why the Hereditary lady was all the way at the bottom.
I don't know. Number 26, we have Bella Thorne. I don't know why they don't have a picture for Bella Thorne here. But for The Awakening, Amityville, The Awakening, The Babysitter, whatever. Moving on.
There's a Scream TV show?
Yeah. Stop looking at the screen.
Well,
all right. Number 25, we have Samara Weaving from Ash vs. the Evil Dead, Mayhem, The Babysitter, Ready or Not. Have you seen any of these?
I've seen Ready or Not. I haven't seen Ash vs. Evil Dead. I heard it was fun.
Well, the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Well, what do you think of her?
I don't think of her that much.
Okay. Number 24, we got Katie Cassidy from When a Stranger Calls, Black Christmas, A Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm assuming that's the remake. Do you know who this is?
She's from Supernatural. That's Ruby.
That's not Ruby from Supernatural.
Right? Isn't she?
Wait, which
the
one?
original?
I don't think so.
Isn't she original blonde Ruby?
Listen, she's from Gossip Girl, and then she's from the Arrowverse. But I don't know.
I think you can right click it so that it loops.
Really? Loop. There you go. Thank God, because that's really annoying. All right, let me see. Actually, I've met her in person.
Is she nice?
Yeah, she's a nice girl. When we were doing the Comic-Con stuff for Arrow, she's a nice. She got extremely skinny, so I think she has maybe like an issue. Huh. But I don't know. Let me see. Supernatural. Nothing. Supernatural. Ruby, you got it.
Yeah, I told you.
Oh,
how do you not remember the original Ruby?
Because I always remember the one that Sam and Dean that Sam got married to.
Oh yeah, I mean, I kind of prefer the second one.
Of course.
But you know, she was fun.
Yeah, she's all right. Next, number 23, we have Betty Gabriel.
Who the fuck is she?
Betty Gabriel from, let me see, Get Out, The Purge Anarchy, and Unfriended Dark Web.
So Purge Anarchy sucks balls.
Really? I only saw the first Purge.
That one's honestly probably worse. Cause at least
really?
The second one embraces the suck.
Okay, the first one, I hated it, because to me it's like, the kid just ruined everything.
Yeah, but at least that's realistic.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Unfriended, honestly, I kind of really like those movies because, do you know the style of Unfriended?
Is it like a social media movie?
No. Well, yes, but the whole movie is recorded on, like, a laptop screen.
Oh, it's stupid.
It's
stupid.
It's dumb, but it's fun.
It's so stupid. At least, what's the Paranormal Activity? There's a little bit of...
No. So it's everybody is like in a Skype call.
I know. It's like it's watching a Zoom movie.
Basically, and they're like opening up like Facebook and stuff to see like old pictures of, and there's like this murder thing or like a ghost thing that starts happening, and people start dying, and it's pretty fun. So it's like, I don't know, the ghost starts killing one of them and then uploads a YouTube video.
So just let me see if I get this right. You're recommending Unfriended Dark Web. You're recommending it right now.
I recommend it if you don't want to take something too seriously, you know?
By the way, Mob Nasty saying that your brother Eric is a good co-host. So don't let it go to your head. Mob Nasty, you disappoint me, man. I thought you had better taste than this.
Hey, don't make fun of my burner account.
Anyway, moving on. Number 22, we have the one and only Mila Jovovich. Do you consider her a Scream Queen?
I didn't before this list.
Well, I mean, think about it. She's basically from the Resident Evil franchise.
You mean the stoic character who almost never reacts to things that are happening on the screen?
I don't remember screaming like
maybe in the first one where she's a normal person.
Actually, in the Fifth Element, I remember her screaming a lot, but it's more like a. So the chick who sings that's a screamer.
Nah, from the Fifth Element, the best scream queen is Chris
Tucker.
Tucker.
Yes, the one and only Chris Tucker, of course. So she gets overshadowed. But you consider her a scream queen? I don't.
I don't at all.
I love Mila. Mila's
and
fantastic.
Right there, they only have her as Resident Evil franchise, so you would think it's because of the Resident Evil franchise. I don't. Like, she's holding 2 double-barrel shotguns.
She doesn't. She's not even screaming.
No?
I wouldn't scream with 2-barrel shotguns.
Don't even know what her voice sounds like.
So, yeah, I wouldn't put her as a scream queen. I mean, I love her, but definitely not a scream queen, in my humble opinion.
I think this list is more of a top horror movie actresses.
Okay.
Like, instead of the actual...
So you're saying that some dumbass made a list and just, instead of calling it the best horror movie heroines or whatever, or horror movie female characters, they went with scream queens because they didn't know what it meant?
I think they knew what it meant, and I think they probably thought it would generate more interest.
Okay. Fair. All right, so we're not judging by screams. We're judging about best performances. But then Toni Collette should be higher.
She should, but maybe this lady who made the list is not very smart.
It's possible. Anyway, let's move on to number 21.
It is the shot.
We have Tiffany Shepis from Scarecrow, The Toxic Avenger 4, Bloody Murder 2. I don't know who this chick is, but I'm assuming it's one of those porn horror movies.
It's like more like exploitation.
Yeah, exploitation horror.
I haven't seen any of those.
I don't know. Me neither. But
I didn't know Toxic Avenger made it to 4.
I guess. Anyway, moving on to number 20, one of my favorites, the one and only Jane Levy. Now, do you know who Jane Levy is?
Yeah, she's the girl from the Evil Dead remake.
Okay. Do you... again, I wouldn't consider her a scream queen.
Especially not in Don't Breathe.
Yeah.
What are there, 2 lines in that movie?
Yeah, I don't know. But
is the girl from A Quiet Place going to be here too?
Oh, that'd be hysterical. The mute girl?
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
But yeah.
She was fantastic in both of those movies.
Jane Levy is great. She was in a comedy show, and they did a horror episode. And she was creepy as fuck. So when they casted her for Evil Dead, I was like, done. Like, she's fantastic. She can do comedy. She can do horror.
And she appears possessed in Evil Dead, and my God.
Yeah, she's really good.
I've recommended the Evil Dead remake before. I think it's, well, maybe not, I don't know if better than the original, but certainly scarier.
Yeah, does a good job. She's a good actress. Anyway, moving on to number...
Actually, better than the original, yes. But maybe not better than the original remake. Evil Dead is a weird franchise.
Okay, so Evil Dead, and then there's Evil Dead 2, which is a remake of Evil Dead, and then there's Evil Dead the remake.
Well, then there's Evil Dead
Army of Darkness.
Mm-hmm. And then there's
but Army of Darkness is not a remake of Evil Dead.
No.
So Evil Dead 1, I always remembered because it's the one where there's the rape scene with a tree.
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2 is the cartoony one.
That's honestly the more memorable one.
Okay, and so Evil Dead the remake, the one with Jane Levy, is better than the other two?
Yeah, it's very different from the second one.
Is there anything as memorable as the tree rape?
Oh, there's plenty memorable.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, I'll give it up. Don't spoilers. No spoilers. Number 19, we have Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
I love that woman.
Final Destination 3, The Thing, 10 Cloverfield Lane, Death Proof, and Black Christmas. She has quite a resume.
Yeah.
And yes, I do love her. She's fantastic. She's you might remember her as the Ramona Flowers from Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh man, but she was in the Thing remake, so I really do have to resent her.
She was also in Birds of Prey. Yeah, I know.
Oh, good. Final Destination, I really like those movies.
Final Destination 3. Which one's the one with the car? With the tree trunks falling? Because that thing marked me for life.
That's the second one.
Yeah, I've never really wanted to go behind somebody hauling like big pieces of wood since.
The one that got me in that in traffic in that regard is The Descent.
The Descent?
Yeah, you remember
traffic scene
at the beginning where they plong.
Oh yes. Yes,
and they got the pipes. Oh, yeah.
Well,
I don't like that.
Listen.
Like
the Descent. I'm just never gonna go underground. Like I'm never gonna go into a cave ever because of that movie.
I mean, I've never thought that was a good idea.
Like,
anyways,
I think that's the movie that scared me the most in my entire life. Like The Descent, because I remember watching The Exorcist, and The Exorcist, you feel disturbed. Like you watch something that you're not supposed to watch, right? Like you're possessed, you're dirty because of watching it. With The Descent, I remember I watched it with two of my best friends, Felipe and Ernie, and we were watching it in our house. And when the movie was done, Felipe and Ernie were afraid to walk out to their cars. and I was like, dude, I mean, we got dogs here and stuff. You're fine. And they're like, it's still scary. And then, when they left, I realized, I'm alone.
Now I'm scared.
Now I'm scared. Doggies, come in. Keep me company. And it's one of those things like, I'm never going to go underground, ever, just because of that movie.
To me,
ever.
The reason it didn't really scare me like outside the context of the film is because, I mean, I don't have any caves around.
There's actually...
So it's like it's one of those things that like
There's actually, it's funny. There's a map of like where a place in the U.S. where most people have disappeared, right? There's a map of the U.S. and they show you all these spots.
Yeah.
And then there's a map that shows you where the major cave systems are in the U.S. And if you put one on top of the other, it's the exact same fucking map. Yeah. So you're like, maybe stop going underground, people.
Oh, dude, there's so many unexplored caves in the world. It's actually ridiculous.
Yes. Yeah, scary stuff. Anyway, moving on to...
The thing is, you have to be a little dumb to actually want to do it.
Yeah. Number 18, we have Emma Roberts. Now, Emma Roberts, you don't remember her, but you know her, right?
Yeah.
She appears in the TV show Scream Queens, American Horror Story, Scream 4. Any of those ring a bell?
I saw a little American Horror Story.
Listen, she's the girl from the meme that's like one girl whispering and the other girl's here, and the other one's like, oh,
yes, she is! That's what it is. Oh my god.
Yeah, see? So
okay, that makes sense.
That's where you know her from. That's where you know her from.
She's good at memes.
she's a meme. Number 17, the one and only Drew Barrymore in the movie that threw everybody by surprise because she got killed almost immediately. Scream, probably. I think that's the only reason. Well, would E.T. count?
Did she get killed in E.T.?
What?
No?
No, she doesn't get killed, but you remember the scene where E.T.'s like being electrocuted because he's dying, and she's like, You don't remember that?
No.
The scene with like the dudes in the hazmat suits and stuff, and they come in.
I remember that, and then they escape, and they have the bicycle chase.
Well, she's there because they're trying to, like give him CPR and stuff and resuscitate him because E.T.'s dying. And here's the thing: Steven Spielberg did not tell Drew Barrymore that E.T. wasn't real, and so she really thought,
"What an idiot!"
that he was dying. Which is like a really cruel thing to do to a kid, but whatever.
I always like those. I know actors hate when directors do this, but I love it when directors do this, which is scare them without them knowing, or like going off script.
Like Alien.
Like an Alien is probably the most famous one. Where, obviously the bursting out of the stomach, they didn't tell the actors that was going to happen because they wanted a genuine reaction.
Yeah.
Now, it's kind of a double-edged sword because that can make, people paranoid and not like you and talk shit about you. But it makes for good entertainment.
Sometimes you have to do it. No, there's a famous story. I don't remember who did it or what the movie was, but the director wanted to get a particular reaction from an actor. And the scene required him, like, the character is, like, looking at a kid, and he's looking at a kid creepily, or something like that. And so what the director did is that he started talking to the guy. Well, the guy had a close-up, and he started talking to him about his kids, and, like, tell me the best memory of your kid and stuff. And the guy just starts doing a genuine smile, like, remembering his kids. But when you cut that in the movie, like a close-up to a little kid, it looks super creepy.
And you just put a little bit of eerie music.
Yeah, and so the actor was like, the fuck? I remember that moment. You dick.
Misrepresentation. Also,
is that how I look like when I think about my kids?
I hate my kids now.
That's fucked up.
I'm going to go beat them. No, also with, I forget the actor, but in Die Hard.
Okay.
Where, at the end where he, who's the, Hans Gruber? Where he's gonna fall?
Yeah.
They told, what's the name of the actor? Alan Rickman?
Alan Rickman, yeah.
Yeah. They didn't tell Alan Rickman when they were gonna let him go.
Yes, I remember that. so
they were like, 1. It was like gonna be like 1, 2, 3, but they let him go in like 1. So he was just like...
Great stuff. Great stuff. No, Ernie has a great story about that. Wow. He was gonna go bungee jumping. Yeah. So he's getting ready to go. He's like, all right, 1, 2, and he's jumping. He's on the air, and the guy tells him, no. So the whole way down, he's like,
oh my god. That's a good way to get shot.
Oh, definitely. Anyway, moving on to number 16, the iconic Janet Leigh from the scene in Psycho, where she gets murdered in the shower, and the blood's actually chocolate.
I know. It's actually the original Drew Barrymore.
Yeah,
Scream
the
thingy.
misdirection Like,
yeah,
oh,
because she was the main draw of that film.
Yeah, the big star.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, wait, what the hell? She was also in Halloween H2O.
I didn't know that. That's not a good movie.
I didn't know there was a Halloween... Does it mean Halloween 20? Or
it was
like there's
20,
a Waterworld?
20th anniversary, yeah.
That makes sense. All right, moving on. Number 15, Adrienne Barbeau.
It's actually H20, but everybody does call it H2O.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. She's from the Fog, Swamp Thing, and Creepshow. Have you seen any of these movies? I haven't.
Fog. Is that the one that has Tom Welling? Probably not. No. That's The Mist.
Yeah, The Fog is the one with...
the Stephen King one.
Thomas Jane. You know the original Punisher?
Shoot, no, that's an old movie. No.
Well, anyway, that's the one.
I've heard that one's okay.
Yeah,
The Fog.
I mean, it's Stephen King. Stephen King has a few good stories.
But it has really shit films.
Yeah.
He's actually famous for having really shit films.
Well, it's one of those things that people don't understand, that the medium is very important, and some things just don't translate to another medium. Like, let's say a horror book is not as scary as a horror movie because the book is designed to disturb you in different ways than a movie is. Like a movie, it attacks your ears more than anything else. Like a book attacks your mind. Does that make any sense?
Well, I mean, movie also it attacks you visually and audibly.
Yeah.
But the thing with Stephen King is most of the movies based on his books that suck are ones that have him involved.
Oh yeah.
And it's because it's one of those things that's like, look, you may be a great writer, but you don't translate well to the other medium of, directing and, movies. Because, books have a lot of fluff. They have to, they go slow. And it's similar to, like, Hideo Kojima.
Okay.
With like, did you play Death Stranding?
No, not yet.
Well, it was basically a game where he was completely unbound.
Okay.
And you could clearly tell he wants to be a Hollywood director.
Okay. I mean, I've played Metal Gear before. Half of the game is a movie.
But half of the game is a great video game.
Okay, fair enough.
So it's kind of like this crazy blend. And it's because when he was in Konami, they kind of had him reined in, where they were like, all right, that's enough of you. That's enough of you. So when he left, they were like, no, we want all of you. And he's like, all of me?
All of me? Wait, you mean I don't have a boss anymore?
Yeah. So
I'm surrounded by yes men?
Yes. And, we got a weird game where you move boxes around.
All right. Fair enough. Number 4. So we're in the top half now.
Yeah.
It should be all the big names.
It should be the best list now.
All right. We'll see. Number 14. We have Ali Larder. Now, you might remember her from Varsity Blues and one of the most iconic scenes in film history that has nothing to do with horror. You ever see Varsity Blues?
No.
All right. Have you ever seen the scene of the chick that walks out with only whipped cream?
Yeah.
That's her. That's the Ali Larder. Anyway,
I don't recognize her when she's not naked.
She's also from Final Destination, Resident Evil, House on Haunted Hill, which is a great movie. Then the Diabolical Shawnee Smith. Diabolical 13 and Shawnee Smith.
I'm going to go ahead and guess not from the original House on Haunted Hill.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, she was great in Final Destination.
Yeah.
She was always like that weird, high school girl who everybody sort of secretly had a crush on, but she was like that weird chick. So,
The weird chick?
Yeah.
She's the hot chick. No, she's the hot chick.
No, she's like the weird chick who's like the bookworm who's always like...
Oh, you mean in Final Destination?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean
what are you talking about?
I mean, because in the 90s, she was like in most of the teen movies, and she was the hot chick.
No, she was not the hot chick.
She was the hot chick.
In Final Destination.
Varsity Blues, she's the bikini girl.
Yeah, but you see Varsity Blues there? No, it's Final Destination.
No. She
In
made me scream in Varsity Blues.
In Final Destination, she's a weird girl.
I guess.
She's like the weird girl who's like into voodoo and stuff.
Yeah, she also made a couple of appearances in a lot of 90s TV shows, teen dramas. It's fantastic. What happened to her? Well, clearly she's crazy. Anyway, but I agree with her being there. Number 14, top half of the list.
Sure.
All right, number 13, we have Shawnee Smith, Amanda from the Saw franchise.
Amanda.
I'm Tobin Bell.
I'm Tobin Bell.
I'm here to save you.
I'm
I
here
think, and punish you.
I'm here to make you scream.
Amanda, you're like oddly hot, but at the same time totally crazy.
Honestly, you give me a raging boner. Look at those eyes.
I'm Tobin Bell.
I want you to wear that reverse bear trap while we make love. I'm Tobin Bell.
So, would you consider her the best from the Saw franchise? Because I don't think there's gonna be another one. There's 13 people, 12 people left.
Well, she's the first one who appears.
That is true.
I don't think Jigsaw's wife appears until the fourth film.
Is she the first major female character in the franchise?
No, she's.
Because the first movie, it's the guy from Robin Hood, Man in Tight Pants or something, or Princess Bride. It's that guy, Carrie something.
Yeah, the doctor.
Yeah, and then the other dude who's in the tub.
Well, yeah, the first movie's basically.
And it's Donald Glover. Danny Glover, yeah. And Jigsaw. And maybe the wife and the kid. Oh, no, the wife would be the first major character, I guess.
Major, yeah. Well, I mean, she's the motivator.
True. All right. Moving on. Number 12.
But yeah, I would say Amanda would be the first recurring.
Sure. Number 12, we have the one and only Jennifer Love Hewitt from I Know What You Did Last Summer. You remember her? Like her iconic scene? What do you want? What do you want? Did you ever watch this movie?
I don't remember. The show I remember her from is the one where she's a masseuse who's a prostitute. You ever watch that?
What's the name?
You remember it, right?
What's
you remember
the name?
And honestly, that show was incredibly blue ballsy.
Really?
Yeah, it sucks.
That sucks. You know what's funny? You know who John Mayer is, the singer?
Yeah.
Supposedly, rumors say that the song "Your Body Is a Wonderland" is an ode to her, because they were dating, and he wrote her that song.
Well, I can see it.
Yeah. I can understand. I can see the inspiration.
Fantastic.
Yep. Moving on. Number 11, Anna Paquin from True Blood and Trick or Treat and Darkness. How do you feel about Anna Paquin, Rogue from X-Men?
Sucker.
Dude, honestly,
I just keep waiting for him to walk in that door and say,
sucker. Dude, that show was great and went downhill so fast.
It went downhill so suddenly. It was like all of a sudden, like last 2 seasons, complete garbage, unwatchable.
Yeah.
It almost took like a Game of Thrones kind of thing.
Yes, but it wasn't as bad as Game of Thrones.
I don't know. It was really bad.
It was really. I mean, HBO does that, I guess.
Well,
that's why I'm afraid of watching The Sopranos.
I've heard The Wire doesn't end great.
Really? Endings are hard. Dude, I did an entire podcast talking about endings and beginnings. Endings are hard. They're really, really hard.
That's why you got to plan it from the beginning.
No, because sometimes you try to force it too hard.
Well, no, because if you plan it, that you're always working towards it.
All right, but here's the thing. If you're talking about a story, let's say you're writing a book or whatever, fine, you have a little bit more control. But if you're talking about a movie or a TV show, it's hard because sometimes actors have a chemistry with their characters that comes out on screen, and you're like, it has to go in that direction. It's where the meat is. It's where the magic is. That's kind of like what happened with Dawson's Creek. Nobody really expected that Pacey and Katie Holmes would have that much chemistry on screen.
I mean, True Blood had fairies.
Yeah, that really
so,
fucked up.
Regardless of who she had chemistry with, they had fairies and aliens.
It got really crappy really quickly, which is unfortunate because I really enjoyed the show. I think it's the first show that I ever saw that was like a cliffhanger show.
Oh, it was so fun.
Like every single episode, it ends and you're like, "What's gonna happen?" And it starts immediately there. So
to me that was like the perfect show to watch as a teenager, because it was like, man, even if this episode sucks, we had titties.
Yay! HBO! Yay! All right. So.
Oh, and also it has what's the name of the virgin?
Oh, the Jessica?
Yeah, redhead.
Yeah, Jessica.
Love that woman.
Yeah, I kind of hate her in Daredevil.
I had never watched Daredevil.
Daredevil's fantastic, but Rachel is like, Rachel.
Well,
that's actually Batman.
Yeah.
But Batman and Daredevil are kind of similar.
Except one of them is blind.
They're the...
And ironically, the other one's the bat.
Yeah, you know what? One's poor, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're both part of the, like, we won't kill you, but the medical bills will club. So,
better have insurance, bitch.
Moving on, we have, Courtney Cox from the Scream franchise. Courtney Cox is fantastic.
Yeah.
In general.
Sure.
Just, I love her.
It's just, she keeps losing the ability to move her face.
Oh, yeah, it's too much plastic.
Yeah.
You know what movie she's great in?
I would have to think for a long time, so no.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
She wasn't that, was
She's the original Ace Ventura girl.
I recently saw...
Again, great Scream Queen Jim Carrey.
Just have his scream in Dumb and Dumber.
The most annoying sound in the world. So yeah.
You know where I also really enjoyed her recently? Seinfeld.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, she was there.
Yeah.
She was pretending to be Jerry's wife.
Yes.
So they could get a dry cleaning
discount. Yes.
I want a divorce.
I want a divorce.
Where did we go wrong, Jerry?
I would not have her in the top 10.
No, not at all.
No.
They just have her for... I would have Drew Barrymore above her.
Yeah, Drew Barrymore.
For the same franchise? Come on.
Yeah, but honestly, Drew Barrymore is more memorable. Ali Larter's also more memorable, so I don't know. I love Courtney, but she should not be here.
They have her because the person who made this list watched Friends recently.
Fair enough. Number 9, we have Heather Lankincamp.
Honestly, I was thinking of her. I didn't remember the name.
Heather Lankincamp? That's such an easy name.
Yeah.
All right. Are you from Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors, New Nightmare? From which movie do you remember her?
All of those. That's the same franchise.
Really?
It's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Is this a reboot?
No, it's the original, the third one, and New Nightmare is maybe the 7th one, which is like New Nightmare is like the meta one where they're Freddy Krueger is
The one dreaming?
No. So they like exist outside of the movie. So it's a world where Nightmare on Elm Street exists as a movie franchise. And the thing is that Freddy comes out of that and comes into the real world, where they meet like Wes Craven and the actors and all that. So you actually see Freddy Krueger as the actor Robert Englund.
Robert. Okay.
And I think Freddy kills him and takes him over and stuff.
So wait, so they did the supernatural thing?
Before Supernatural.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Didn't know.
It's actually a really good movie.
Number 8, we have Anya Taylor Joy from The Witch,
It's The Vivitch.
The Witch,
The
Split,
Vivitch.
Morgan, Glass, The New Mutants. New Mutants is terrible.
I never watched Split. I heard it was great.
Split is really good. What's his name? What's the actor's name? McAvoy. James McAvoy, underrated actor. Like, seriously, fantastic performance. She's kind of like okay in it. She was
great in The Vivitch.
She's great in The Witch, and I have heard that something about the chess game she's really good too. Like, what is it? The Queen's Gambit?
Is she the one there?
I think so.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, but New Mutant sucks, and Glass could have been better. But anyway.
I liked her in The Vivitch.
The Witch? It's a great movie.
Plus, she shows her butt cheeks.
Yep, and dude, it's the first time I've ever seen a goat act. Like, it's so impressive that they made a goat act.
Dude, that movie had kids,
yes.
animals,
weather,
crappy weather. Yeah. All of that set was created for that film.
Really?
Yeah, because they wanted to make it completely as authentic as possible.
Wow.
Everybody hated the process of it, but
of course.
that director is known for wanting to, make things as authentic as possible.
The dude clearly hates himself. Because those are the 3 things you don't want on set. You don't want children, you don't want animals, and you don't want bad weather.
And that was like his breakthrough film, so low budget.
Yeah. Honestly, very impressive. I highly recommend that movie.
He also made no, he didn't make Midsommar. Midsommar was the Hereditary guy.
Yeah.
No, the Vivitch, I think he made The Lighthouse?
I mean, I could look it up. We do have the technology here.
Yeah. I think he's the one who made The Lighthouse.
Robert Eggers, yeah. Is it Eggers or Eggers?
Eggers.
I've heard good things about the movie.
Oh, I love The Lighthouse. Actually, that might be my favorite one I've seen this year.
Really?
Because I think I saw it in the summer.
They have the movie with the sheep acting coming out soon from A24. What?
A24?
What is that?
I don't know.
Is that like a horror thing? I'm entertainment company, but what's the movie? I don't know. I'll look it up later. Damn it, Otto. If you don't know the name of the movie, stop tripping me. Number 7, we have Tessa Farmiga. Do you know who this is? From American Horror Story, The Final Girls, The Nun. There's a The Final Girls movie?
I shouldn't be surprised. I haven't seen The Nun. I'm still working through the Conjuring movies.
Huh. It's an interesting concept, the Final Girls thing. I didn't know that there was a full-length movie. By the way, for those of you who don't know, the Final Girls is basically it's a term that refers to the girl who's left alive at the end of a horror movie. Like in Alien, it would be Sigourney Weaver.
Basically, it's usually when the final girl is the only one left, it's when the movie enters its final chase, its final act, its final thing, and the resolution.
And it usually ends with some kind of BS, unless it's Sigourney Weaver.
I think the one that pissed me off the most is Don't Breathe.
I haven't seen it, so don't say it. Next, we have number 6, Sarah Paulson from American Horror Story, Bird Box, Glass. Did you ever see Bird Box? I didn't.
I read the book.
Really?
Yeah.
How was the book?
Better than the movie, but yeah.
To me, it was just like, isn't this just kind of like a Quiet Place, but you can't see?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's actually more Lovecraftian.
Okay.
The idea of basically it's like a horror that is, something that once you witness it, it makes you go, it sort of triggers something in your brain that makes you go crazy.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs?
The book is pretty good.
But you haven't seen the movie.
And it kind of works better because you can't see.
Okay. Yeah.
But in the movie, they sort of like work around it, and it's one of those movies that you're constantly going like, why are the main characters so stupid?
Oh, God. That's the worst.
Yeah.
That's the worst. Like the stupid kid from The Purge.
Like they just make poor decisions that don't really make a lot of sense.
It's fun. You know what the problem is when they do that? It makes you be like, when they die, you're like, good.
Yeah.
You deserved it. You earned that death. Anyway, moving on.
And that's not what you want in a horror film, because the reason you're scared is because you're scared for them.
Exactly. You want them to live.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's called Lamb, Otto saying. We'll look it up later. All right. Top 5. Any big names so far that you... I mean...
You know the number one.
You know the number one, but who else are you like, man, I'm getting nervous. They haven't mentioned her.
I don't know. Thinking of iconic horror films. I bet you Barbara from Night of the Living Dead is going to be here.
All right, we'll see. Number 5, you're betting. We have Danielle Harris from Halloween franchise and the Hatchet franchise. Do you know who that is?
No.
Never seen her in my life.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
Is it the remakes of Halloween? Because I haven't... Well, the remakes of Halloween? Because I haven't seen those.
I don't know, but she's top 5.
I haven't seen the Halloween from 2017 onwards. I saw the Rob Zombie ones. Those are...
I don't know,
they
but
exist.
She's top 5. Weird. Anyway, moving on. Number 4, we have Vera Farmiga from the Conjuring franchise, Bates Motel.
That's not a scream queen. She like talks with ghosts and shit. She's like the most calm character in the movies. I don't think she screams once.
You know where I love her? The Departed.
She isn't The Departed, is she?
Yeah, she's like the shrink who's banging, DiCaprio and Matt Damon.
I feel like there's plenty of shrinks that have done that.
I mean, I feel there's plenty of shrinks who want to. Moving on.
She's not a scream queen.
I agree.
Look, she's a great actress. I enjoy the Conjuring films overall.
Yeah.
But scream queen no.
Okay. Number 3, the one and only Sarah Michelle Gellar, a.k.a. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Also, you may know her from The Grudge, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and Scream 2.
I only know her because she gives me a boner.
Of course, dude. Like, that's Buffy the Vampire Slayer is one of my first girl crushes ever. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I didn't even know what it meant to like a girl.
Who was one of your first boy crushes?
Let me see. That's an interesting question. Did you ever watch Rome?
Yeah.
Okay. Freaking Mark Anthony. That you're like, man, I want to be that guy. That's who I want to be. To me, that's a boy crush. That you're like, that's everything I want to be when I grow up. Han Solo, probably too. It's like, that's everything I want to be when I grow up.
Acceptable answers.
Thank you. Number 2, we have the one and only Nev Campbell from Scream and nothing else. I think that's all that she's done, right? I mean,
so.
Also, I think Wild Things, but I don't think that's horror.
This is a terrible top 5.
What?
This is a terrible top 5.
Is it a terrible top 3? Well, because the number 1, easy, Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, there was actually no question, no debate. So.
Honestly, that's the reason they made the list.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we want to show you how cool Jamie Lee Curtis is, so you watch the new movie. That's 100% what they did. But how do you feel about Nev Campbell?
I don't feel about her, especially after you show me Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Right?
She kind of ruins those around her.
Right? Did
you ever see Cruel Intentions?
Have I ever seen Cruel Intentions? Have I ever seen Cruel Intentions? What kind of a dumbass question is that?
I would put it on and rewind it and watch it again.
Stupidest fucking question I've ever heard. Dumbass. Anyway,
you guys kind of have the same voice. That is a problem when we pick up the phone. Actually,
it's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
It was just Giraud.
Giroux. Is on.
Anyway, so how would you re-rank these? So who would you move? Who would you go up?
I would re-rank it in order of attractiveness.
Okay, so number 1.
Who do I like better, Naomi Watts in The Ring? Anna Paquin is good.
Okay.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Oh man.
That's a harder list.
That is a tougher list.
Like,
it's an
honestly, out of the ways you could have ranked this, you picked the hardest fucking choice.
It's an easier, top 5, but
I'm just gonna go through it real quickly. Like on the hotties: Naomi Watts, Jessica Biel, Eliza Kudberg, Bella Thorne, Samara Weaving, Mila Jovovich, Jane Levy, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Emma Roberts, Drew Barrymore.
I've never found Drew Barrymore that attractive.
Ali Larder.
She was always my least favorite Charlie's Angel.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, Courtney Cox, Anya Taylor Joy, Tessa Farmiga, Vera Farmiga. Wait, are they related?
Could be.
Sarah Michelle Gellar, and yeah. It's like, honestly, that's a harder list that you picked.
That's rough.
Like, yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, so which one out of all of them would you say was the best movie? Or was in the best movie?
Out of all the Scream things?
Yeah.
The best movie.
Yeah. Or the one that you would recommend, before Halloween, you got a few days left, you got to watch this movie.
I mean, obviously, I recommend you watch Halloween.
Okay.
It's actually, a fantastic day of Halloween.
Okay.
Watch it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. It deals with... Ooh, the Vavitch is a fantastic one. But that's not a starter.
Again, that's a movie that makes you feel dirty after watching it.
Yeah,
you're like
I have to go to church or something.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't recommend this. The Vavitch is the opposite of the list he told me to make.
Okay.
Of accessible,
yeah.
Easy horror films.
I asked Eric to make a list of horror movies for normies, and obviously he didn't fucking do it. So we ended up doing this.
I'm working on it. It's still Halloween week.
You know what I would recommend? Not recommend. One that actually piqued my interest that I want to see. The Elm Street one where they go into the real world. That actually sounded interesting.
Yeah, Wes Craven's the New Nightmare.
Yeah. So out of all of them, that's probably the one that I would want to watch the most.
Do you know? Oh shit, what's his name? Oh, Johnny Depp is in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah. He gets sucked into a bed.
Okay.
I can't say it in any other way.
Poor Mr. Johnny Depp.
Scream, I know we did last summer. Saw, Final Destination.
You know what? You need to watch freaking Varsity Blues. That's what you need to watch.
Psycho. I'm gonna watch.
Which is
Cruel
funny
Intentions.
enough. Yeah, another movie that I saw because of my body auto. Varsity Blues.
see. Scream Queens. 10 Cloverfield Lane is great because of John Goodman.
You know, I have it right here. I haven't seen it.
It's great. It's not like scary as in like ugh. It's more like scary as like, man, this is a fucked up situation and I'd be afraid to be in this room with John Goodman.
Yeah, like disturbing, I think is the word you were looking for.
Yeah. Evil Dead's good.
Which Evil Dead? The one with Jane Levy?
Yeah. Stranger Calls, Ash Evil Dead. You know, a lot of these movies kind of suck.
I mean, horror is not known for making the best, because a lot of people start in horror. Hereditary?
Yeah, Hereditary.
Okay, cool.
It's the only one I would have like top 10 horror movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's a good place to stop right there. Did you enjoy the rankings?
Yeah, I like seeing the ladies screaming.
Fair enough. As always, thank you for joining me. Any comments, questions, or suggestions, like I said, you can find me at Super Dario World on YouTube and on Twitch, 10 a.m. Monday through Friday, except Thursdays. And you can just join me live there in the chat. Eric's going to be doing weird stuff eventually when he shows up. If you want to send me something privately, you can do it at DarioSDW and at Super Dario World. Like, subscribe, that I really appreciate. That really helps me out. As always, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again next time.